So you're ready to start building your first systems, but you don't know where to start. Well, you're in luck. In this video, I'm going to go over my 5-step framework that I use to help me build out any system. And I'm also going to explain the difference between internal and external systems so that you can start putting those systems on autopilot. So let's get started. So when you are starting to build out your system, you want to start with the end goal in mind. This means that you want to focus on the goal first, which will allow for you then to work backwards from the goal and track each step that is required to achieve that goal. From there, you will be able to document what those steps are and then begin to build your system around that. After you've done that, the first thing that you want to do is define your 5 pillars of the system. The 5 pillars of the system is who, what, when, how, and how often. So let's get into that. The who is involved in the process and which type of tools are you actually going to be using to complete this step. So who's involved and what tools are required. The what is what tasks need to happen at each stage in order for the process to be completed. So again, like I said, by starting at the end in mind, you're able to track which steps need to be put in place or each step that needs to be done in the process. The third is the when. When does the task take place and what is the trigger? So the trigger is kind of like the domino effect. If you had a row of dominoes up and you used your finger to knock all of those dominoes down, your trigger would be the finger. So essentially that's the same thinking that you want to have in place when it comes down to building out your system. What is the initial action that needs to take place, the trigger, in order to start the system? The how is how does this task get done? Does it get done manually or through automation? Realistically, most systems will have a combination of both, but the goal is to define what needs to be done manually and what needs to be done automatically. And there you will be able to automate as many of those systems as possible, helping you to save time and get the task or the system done more effectively. The how often talks about the frequency. How long or how often does this need to take place? Is it happen daily? Is it weekly? Is it bi-weekly? Monthly? How often does it happen? Sometimes it's a one-time occurrence. So depending on the system that you're building, knowing how often that system needs to be executed is important to have documented. Now I want to walk us through an example of how this system is put, this 5-pillar system is in place. The example that we're going to do is creating a lead nurturing sequence, okay, with the end goal of mind of actually getting the person back onto a call, right? So the steps that need to happen in between. So the who is involved will be the business owner, and the system that we're going to be using is our CRM. What needs to be done is we are sending emails and as reminders, sending email follow-ups and reminders through it within the system. So the what needs to happen is sending follow-up emails and reminders to the prospective client or lead. From there, we want to do the when. This happens when the lead fills out a form. So once someone fills out the form, that is going to be the trigger for this sequence to start. The how is it going to be executed? It's going to be executed via email and text messages. And how often after this starts will this occur? The sequence will be done over the course of every 3 days for 2 weeks. So they'll be getting some sort of reminder, whether it be for email or text message, every 3 days for 2 weeks. So I hope that example helps. If you have some more questions about this or want me to go into more examples, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll try to help walk you through how you can determine your who, what, how, and how often for your system. On the next step, I thought it was important for us to identify the difference between internal and external systems. I think this is important when it comes down to automation specifically, because although the system will be built with inside of typically one platform, when it comes down to automations, it's important to know and identify when an automation needs to be done internally or externally and what that means. So an internal system happens when an automation is done within one tool to streamline a process. So, for example, if you're building out this system inside of your CRM only and you want the automations to be done within the CRM, those are considered to be internal automations. So some of these are automatically tagging leads within the CRM. It can be automatically assigning tasks within the project management software if that is all on one software or CRM. Auto-generating invoices inside an accounting platform. So if you were, for example, wanted to create a system with inside of your QuickBooks or FreshBooks account, then that would be internal because it will be only on that one system. Now, when it comes down to external systems require 2 or more systems to work together. And typically when it's done with external systems, you would need a third-party connector tool in order to connect those 2 systems. I talked a little bit about that in my last video, but essentially external connector tool is just a third-party tool that would help for these 2 tools to communicate. So what would that look like? That would look like connecting a lead from your CRM using Zapier to maybe trigger your booking system or to trigger some sort of action within maybe your email marketing system. Sending appointment confirmations from Calendly to an email marketing tool. It could also be something like generating an invoice from your CRM to help close a deal. So that would be connecting, for example, your FreshBooks or your QuickBooks account with your CRM on one platform. So that would be, again, an external system because 2 systems are coming together to make that connection. So just a quick example of how these internal, external systems can work together for one system. We're going to just go over an example of when a client books a call. Okay, so an external system would be when Calendly sends a confirmation email to the client and it also updates inside the CRM. Because we have Calendly and we have the CRM, that is considered an external system because a trigger in one system is making an effect on another system. When it comes down to internal systems, for this example, the CRM will automatically tag the lead and assign it to a follow-up task. So that all happens within one system. The trigger and the task is happening within one system, so that's considered an internal system. Now that wraps up today's video. I hope this video helped you understand the 5-part framework that you can take to help you start building out your systems for your business, while also helping you to understand the differences between internal and external automations so you can determine which automation type is best for the system that you choose. I hope to see you guys in the next video where we'll learn more about these systems and automations. So please feel free to subscribe to our channel and click the notification button so you don't miss the next video. Thanks. See you in the next one.